Hello friends, I am Mr. G. Pujari, working as Assistant Professor in Sharon Top Technology College of Engineering. I am teaching subject now in machine drawing. And in machine drawing, last time we have started the chapter study of machine element. And in this machine element, we have seen the introduction. Then we have started the first point, screwed fastener, in the last lecture. And about the screw fastener, we have seen the types of screwed fastener. Then we have seen the material used for screwed fastener. Then we have seen applications. Now in this screwed fastener, today we are going to see the drawing of steps of external thread. So how we are going to draw a thread? Because on paper we want to show the threading. So here the drawing steps of external threads are shown here. So draw an arc that represents a root. So here whenever we want to show threads on a paper, draw an arc that represents a root. Draw a circle that represents a crest. Okay, because this is an external thread and we want to show the threading on outside here. So also we require to draw a 45-degree chamfer here. Draw a line making 30-degree with thread axis, and this is a thread length. Okay, so this is the starting position. So this is an external thread, and because of this we are drawing a circle that represents a crest. So what's the top most is the crest that we are showing here with respect to full circle, and draw an arc that represents a root. So whatever root is there for your threading, that will represent a root of your this arc. So when the circle is inside half, or we can say arc is inside here, it represents that this is an external thread shown. Now so driving steps for threaded holes means threading inside. Okay, this is a hole and we have shown the whatever threading we have created inside. So here we have shown here, say draw thread axis like this. We will first of all draw a hole and then we are inserting the dotted lines. So here this dotted line is actually for crest and root. Okay, so this is a crest and this is a root line and crest line. This is dotted. So actually when you want to show convention, or we can say symbols for this threaded hole, what we will do, inside hole we will draw a full hole, full circle, and that represents your crest, and whatever the outside, this is a root, and that we are shown a half arc. Okay, and when there is a half arc is shown outside, we'll understand that this is a threaded hole. Okay, so that is the important thing. These are the conventional methods to show internal hole and external hole, and external threading parts. Now this we have seen, this is a through hole. Okay, now we will see this one, which is a blanded threaded hole. This hole is a blanded, means at one end this is a closed one, this is not a through hole. So how we are going to show this one? Inside we will show like this is a dotted one, and outside like same, this is the inside blanded thread hole. So that's why the inside circle we are showing full circle, and outside circle we are going to show a half circle. Okay, or we can say it is a half arc. Now and whatever the remaining portion of last one, this we have shown with sectional. Okay, when we want to take a sectional view, we'll show all these things are hatching marks. All these things here we are going to do a hatching. So this is a sectional view. Now the dimensioning for external thread, use local node to specify thread form, nominal size, pitch, then use typical method to specify thread length. So here actually we require to show the thread length, whatever the length mentioned that we require to mention here for your thread, and then we require to write down here what type of thread is this one, whether it is M6, whether it is M7, M8, M9, M10, but it can be any one, and that into you require to show whether it is a coarse one or fine one, fine thread or coarse thread you require to show. So it is a representation method how we are showing threading. Okay, so keep in mind there must require thread length, they required to what is the, whether it is M8, M10, what type of thread we have created, and then we require to see whether it is coarse one or fine one. Then dimensioning of thread hole, when there is we have done the threading hole, we require to keep in mind tap drill size, then drill depth, thread form, nominal size, pitch, thread depth. So here 8.5 drill 20 deep, M10 tap 15 deep. So like this information we require to provide. Okay, so that whenever we are drawing on a the representation we want to show in a drawing, that time we require to provide this information, so that the person who is going to take this inside threading hole, or who is going to create this hole, he will see this information, and this size he will maintain inside the component. Now next one we are going to see is a shaft coupling. So a shaft coupling is a device used to connect two shafts together at their ends for the purpose of transmitting power. Coupling do not normally allow disconnection of shaft during operation. However, there are torque limiting couplings which can slip or disconnect when some torque limit is exceeded. So we are seeing this, why couplings are important and what is the use of coupling. So coupling is nothing but we are coupling two parts together, and then we are going to transmit the power from one form or one place to another place. Okay, it means that from one shaft to another shaft we are going to transmit the power. The primary purpose of coupling is to join two pieces of rotating equipment while permitting some degree of misalignment or end movement or both. In a more general context, a coupling can also be a mechanical device that serves to connect the ends of adjacent parts or object. Selection, installation and maintenance of coupling can lead to reduced maintenance time and maintenance cost. So see here, this is one example we have shown here. This is the one shaft and this is another shaft, and these two shafts, whatever the transmission of power we have done by using this coupling. Okay, so these are the two flange coupling. This is example of flange coupling, and by using this flange coupling we have connected these two shafts, and by using this nut and bolt we have joined these two coupling, and because of this joint, whatever the one is a driving and another one is a driven shaft, from one shaft to another shaft motion is going to transmit. At one end we are going to attach the motor, and another one where you want to transmit the power. It can be a wheel or any kind of thing. So from one side to another side the power transmit. Now the uses. Shaft couplings are used in machinery for several purposes. The primary function is to transfer power from one end to another end. Example, motor transfer power to pump through coupling. Other common uses: to alter the vibration characteristics of rotating units, to connect driving and the driven part, to introduce protection, to reduce the transmission of shock loads from one shaft to another, to slip when overload occurs. Now, first example we are going to see is the flange coupling. This coupling has two separate cast iron flanges. So here we require two flange coupling to join together. Each flange is mounted on the shaft end and keyed to it. The two flanges are coupled together with the help of bolts and nuts. See, this is one example. Here we have shown the flange coupling. So this is a driving shaft we have attached here, and this is a driven shaft we have attached here. This is key, this is hub of flange coupling, and these are the nut and bolts, and this is the flanges. So here we have shown this. When we want to connect the two parts, what we are going to do? We will first of all use this hub and attach it with this flange, take together, and then we will insert this key inside this hub. Okay, with first of all we require to insert this shaft into this hub, and then we are going to insert this key here, and another same we are going to do this here. For this hub we are going to insert this one more shaft here, and then we will insert here, this is a key. Okay, because of this key what will happen? Because of this key this shaft is not coming outside. Okay, so this shaft will fix inside. This is the most important thing here. Okay, so this is a driven shaft and this is a driving shaft. So whatever the power is coming from this side, it goes and it transmits to this driven shaft. So that's why the power is going to transmit to another shaft. See here we have shown the practical use what is used in industry. Okay, so you will see here, this is one shaft, this is another shaft, and this one is a flange, this is a hub, this is one hub, and this is another hub. For in one hub we have inserted one shaft with key for locking purpose, and in another hub we have inserted another shaft with key inside to lock purpose, so that when after this we have inserted here the nut and bolts. Okay, so because of this nut and bolts this flange will club together. Okay, so whatever the power we are giving for one of these shaft, and the one shaft will start rotate. So because of this power is going to transmit to another shaft. So another shaft is again starting to rotate. See, so this we have seen here, and such kind of application you will see in extrusion pipes. Okay, you will observe in a pipe extrusion where the pipe we are manufacturing like PVC pipes. In such industrial machine you will observe this kind of flange coupling. here we have drawn the detailed, so this is assembly and this is a detail about this part. So here there are having total 5 number of components are present inside. First one is a flange. So this is a flange. We have drawn detailed view and this is a flange. Okay. Second one is a shaft. So this is your shaft. We have shown here inserted here. This is shaft. This is shaft. This is shaft. This is side view of shaft, and we have created here one keyway to insert the key. Okay, that's also shown in a side view. Then third one is a taper key. So this is a taper key. That taper key we are going to insert into this shaft slot here. See here. Here also we have seen this is shaft, and here is a slot is present. In this slot we are going to insert this taper pin. So this is the third number. Fourth one is a hex bolt. So this is the fourth one. This is hex bolt. So this bolt is we are going to insert here. And fifth one is a hexagonal nut. Okay, so this is a hexagonal nut. So all these are the detailed view, detailed drawing we have drawn here, and this is assembly. So as per we have discussed in earlier, this one from this one is one driving shaft and one is a driven shaft. In this flange we are going to insert this shaft. This shaft we are going to insert here. Then when you insert this shaft here, after this in this slot we are going to put this taper pin, so that this shaft is going to lock inside this hub. Okay, and same thing we are going to do on another side. In this flange hub we are going to insert another shaft, and with this we are going to put here inside this taper pin, so that is going to lock here and this is going to lock here. Okay, and after this we are going to club together. We are taking together these flanges of both the, and then after this we are going to insert this 4 number of nut and bolts. We are going to inserting the bolt here, and after this we are going to insert the nuts. Okay, and like this we are going to lock the full assembly. And when we are going to start your machine, then from one shaft, whatever the driving shaft, that will transmit the power to another shaft. Okay, so like this the flange coupling is working in industry. Okay friends, so whatever remaining thing about the universal coupling and the boost pin type coupling, whatever remaining things I have kept for the next lecture. So just I am going to revise whatever things we have learned today. Today we have learned how we have drawn threads on a paper. So whether the threads are external threads, whether the threads are internal threads, what is the convention methods to show on a paper how threads are going to draw on a paper, that we have seen. Then how we are going to show the blind hole, how we are going to show through hole on a paper, that we have seen today. And after this we have started the chapter, or we can say next point, shaft coupling. And in this shaft coupling, what is the purpose of shaft coupling, why coupling we are using, and then we have seen the point universal coupling. Then we have seen the point is a flange coupling, and so flange coupling is used for clubbing two shafts together, and because of this one is a driving shaft and another one is a driven shaft, and that is going to transmit motion from one shaft to another shaft. So that is the purpose of this flange coupling. So whatever remaining thing about the universal coupling and many more things that we are going to see in the next lecture. So I am very thankful to you for listening this lecture very carefully. Thank you very much.